Hello, my crafty friends. It's Marie from Marie's Vermont Creations, and today I am joining the autoimmune hop that is hosted by Terra from Mayhem Crafty Cards, and I will have her channel linked down below, and she'll have further directions on her channel about the hop and any giveaways that will be done on her channel. So I have been in a journey the last couple of years to try to figure out if I have an autoimmune disease. I do not have a diagnosis yet, but I have many of the symptoms of Hashimoto's thyroiditis, which is a thyroid condition that our body attacks our thyroid, thinking that it's, causing harm when it is not. Like I said, I don't have a diagnosis, but I have been working to try to figure out if this is what I have going on. And I've been mainly trying to get myself feeling better with diet. I've been following an autoimmune protocol diet for, I think this is my 4th month now. I'm just in the phase of reintroducing foods, so it has been quite a journey. So that's why I selected the color palette that I did and the butterflies. The ribbon for Hashimoto's or hypothyroidism in general is a light blue. So I'm doing tumbled glass and salty ocean, and I picked butterflies because the thyroid is shaped like a butterfly. So that is why I chose the supplies that I did. So I am just ink blending the tumbled glass all over this stencil for the entire thing, and then I went a little heavier in the middle section, and then I'm going to put the salty ocean at the top to give it an ombre look. And then I wanted to add some glitter, and I really had a cramp in my brain to try to figure out how to do that. So what I end up doing is taking my art glitter glue and using a palette knife and spreading that over this panel while it's still got the stencil on it. I wasn't sure if this was going to be the moment where I completely ruin this. I will say that adding any moisture of any kind can move your distress inks because it will reactivate them. So you just have to be careful. I tried not to, squish it too hard because, one, I didn't want this thin liquid to get under the stencil and make everything blurry, and I also didn't want to smear my colors too much. Once I get that coated, I'm going to take a paper towel to just sop up some of the glue because I did have quite a bit and I worried that it wouldn't dry correctly. So I do, pick up some of it again, and when you see the paper towel, you can see that I do have blue on it, so it does, move that color, like I said. And then I just took some very fine, I think it's fairy dust glitter that I use from Brutus Monroe as my glitter. You could use anything. I could have done embossing powder. Now that I think about it, I could have just coated it with clear embossing powder, and that would have given me a shiny look. I could have used Brutus Monroe's the white sparkle embossing powder. That would have also worked. But I just wanted a way to add some shine. So this is how I went about it. And so I'm just taking it off of the stencil, and then I will pour the glitter over it using a coffee filter. I'm not quite sure why I even bothered because I had more on the desk than I do in the coffee filter, but I cleaned up my mess afterwards. And then I just soaked this glue-covered stencil in the sink to, get all of that off. And then off screen, I do heat set this with my heat gun just because I wanted to keep going with creating the card and not wait for it to dry on its own. Not that I think it would take a lot of time, but as I've always said, I'm a very impatient crafter, so I want to make sure that I was able to keep going. So I heat set it, but I kept that out because you didn't want to watch me dry this panel. And then the big butterfly that I have, I cut that out ahead of time using vellum, and it is a very retired die set from Stampin' Up. I like the shape of this one, the size of it, and I just thought it would be nice with vellum. I did cut out a light blue panel, and I did cut down the butterfly panel a little bit just because I had some areas that were a little rougher than I wanted it to be. So I ended up cutting that down. This blue panel is 4 by 5 1/4, and so the butterfly panel ended up to be 3 3/4 by 5, I believe, is what I cut that down to. So I'm just adhering that using my liquid glue and making sure that I cut it correctly, just laying it out first, because my luck, if I put the glue on it, I wouldn't have cut the measurements correctly, and then I would have had it half stuck down and ruined what I was working on. And then I will take the butterfly and adhere it in the middle with a strip of 1/8 inch, is this 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch? I think it's 1/8 inch tear tape, because you can see glue when you are adhering vellum. So I just figured if I put it in the middle, it wouldn't be too distracting with the colors that are underneath. I don't think you can see it. You have to really look at it to see where I adhered it down. Or you can also add glue to your entire vellum piece so that it all looks, even, but I opted to just do in the middle so that the wings are still mobile on the card. And then I will struggle to get the backing off and adhere it down to our butterfly panel. And then I will take a stamp set from Simon Says Stamp to create my sentiment. I do stamp it out using a block and the Salty Ocean Distress Oxide ink. And I did get it the first time. Sometimes you do have to stamp it more than once. I could have used my positioning tool, but I currently have a Mother's Day project for work on there that I don't want to remove, so I opted to just do it by hand, and that's why I taped down my stencil instead of using my sticky mat. And once I get this stamped out, I will cut it out with my scissors and adhere it down to my panel. And that is going to complete my card. I hope that you will check out Everyone in the Hop. This hop is on YouTube and on Instagram, so definitely head on over there to see everyone's projects as well. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them for me down below. And like I said, I will have Tara's channel listed down below so you can get more information about the full hop and why she does it, because it's definitely near and dear to her heart. She's done this a few years, and so I always enjoy participating. So that is my project for today. As always, I hope that you all have a great day.